Test, test, test. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing some data sent to me by one of my subscribers, Cody, over at Southern Astrophotography. It's NGC 6946, the fireworks galaxy. So let's jump right into PixInsight. All right, so here we are into PixInsight, and we have the fireworks TIFF. First of all, let's go over the equipment list. It looks like he used a Skywatcher 55i Pro mount, SV Boney 80 ED telescope, a 0.8 field flattener focal reducer, a ZWO 533 MC Pro one-shot color camera. Looks like he used SV Boney 50mm guide scope with an ASI Air Plus, ASI Air 120 millimeter guide camera, and an SV Boney CLS broadband filter. All right, so what we're going to do is just a really quick down and dirty process list that I have right here, just 14 quick steps. This is not the best way to do it. It's just a quick way that I've learned and picked up from other people, a way to do processing of galaxies. So let's get right to it. All right, so first let's do a quick screen stretch of the data that was sent in. And here it is. So the first thing we're going to do is do a SETI Astro automatic background extraction. You don't have to clear it, but I do. You just go to Script, go down to SETI Astros, Automatic DBE, and hit it with the defaults. You can go online and search for SETI Astro, go to his website, and download these scripts for free for PixInsight. And I think he also has a suite, an editing suite for Windows, I think. So don't quote me on that, but I'd check that out. All right, so here's the extracted background. And we're not going to need this one here anymore, so this is this one here. All right, that's with the automatic background extraction. All right, so the next one here is going to be blur exterminator correct only. So we're going to go to processes, all processes, blur exterminator, and I'm going to hit the reset and go to correct only. And we're just going to do the correction here to just try to trim up the stars a little bit. The speed will be depending upon your computer. We're going to try to get this as quick as we can, and let's see if that makes a difference. It's a small difference, may not even be visible here unless we really zoom into one of these stars here. That's without it, that's with it, without it, and with it. Okay, so let's leave it like that. So that is the blur. We're going to do dynamic crop. And if you don't have your little processes over here, you can always go to processes, all processes, and find dynamic crop this way. And we can reset it. And all we want to do is just barely crop it in, just enough to get rid of those little edges there that may have some inconsistencies in it. Bam, there we go. Too easy. So we'll put that back the way it was. So there's the dynamic crop. We're going to do noise exterminator, processes, all processes, find noise exterminator. And we're going to, these are my settings here. I like to hit intensity, color separation, and frequency separation. Don't ask me what they all do at the same time. Play with the sliders and check them out for yourself, but I like to do 4 iterations. If you have noisy data, if you don't have such noisy data, you can slide the sliders back, but if you put them way to the right, it can damage your image. And just play around with those sliders and you'll see what I mean. All right, real quick, let's see if we can see any difference here. That's with it, that's without. So yeah, you can see the graininess all in through here. Watch it go away. Bam, looks smooth, grainy. And I'm talking about this area right in here. Watch this. See how it's smoothed out, grainy? So that's without it, that's with it. So it definitely helps. Okay, so there's the noise exterminator. Now we're going to do blur exterminator, and we're going to sharpen the non-stellar. You don't have to do this. There's a different way of doing it, but just for quick purposes here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to reset it. You can sharpen the stars more or less. I'm just going to leave it set around 50, but I'm going to sharpen this non-stellar to about 68, 67, 68, and let's go with that. And what that's going to do is it's going to tighten up. We don't want to crunch it too much, but it should tighten up the galaxy quite a bit. So let's take a look. That's with it. That's without it. And you can see a huge difference on how it tones down the stars and inside this galaxy. So play with the sliders and put it however you like it. All right, hopefully I'm not going too fast here. I'm just trying to keep this as a short video. All right, so that's Blur Exterminator, sharpen the non-stellar. Now we're going to solve the image. So we're going to go to Script and Image Solver. And when you're stacking these images, depending on what you use, you can put in the right ascension and the declination and all the time and stuff. But if you don't have any of that, just hit the search button, go to the search feature, type in NGC 6946 and hit the search button. Hopefully it'll find it. There it is. Just pick one of them, hit OK, and you can go ahead and hit the go button. If we knew what time and date, we could put that in there. Hit OK, it'll give us a little warning. Do you want to continue? Yes, we want to continue. And it should solve the image. And it depends on the speed of your computer, how fast this takes. All right, so the image is solved. It was good. Now what we want to do is we want to do SBCC. So processes, all processes, spectrophotometric color calibration. All right, say that 3 times fast. All right, so we want to leave it as average spiral galaxy. And since we know that this is a 533 sensor, we're going to go down here to the Sony IMX 533 category here. I'm not sure where the SV Bony files in, or excuse me, fills in to these filters. But if you had whatever type filter, you could select it here. Select whichever one you want. But we're going to go with, it was the CMOS cut sensor. Nope, sorry. We get all out of whack here. We're just going to leave it like that. But you can select the filter that you have. And I think that's going to be good. Yep. So we want to hit go. And hopefully this will come up with a graph and plot where the color goes. And we want the color dots to stay along the line. Yeah, not so bad. It's kind of out there. But basically what this does is, with what's loaded into the computer, it gives you the color of what it's calibrating the image in the sky versus what's in the sky that's loaded to the computer, which the picture that we have on the screen here. So basically you're just calibrating the color to what's loaded into the computer. It did its job, that's done. So now we can remove the stars. So we're going to go to Processes, All Processes, Star Exterminator. And we want to generate a star image. And sometimes you can do unscreened stars, sometimes you don't. They say it works better on non-linear images. 6 to 1, half dozen the other. Try it either way. For me, it works both ways, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't when you unscreen or don't unscreen. But we're done with the stars for the moment. But what we want to do is, just in case we get confused, let's rename those stars so we know that those are the stars. Indeed. In which they are, and we're just going to tuck the stars in right there. And we're going to take this and rename it NGC, well, I've already got one on the desktop. Is that, let's call it Fireworks. We'll call it Fireworks, if I can spell right. There we go, Fireworks. All right. So after the Star Exterminator, we're going to do Star Stretch. So let's tuck the little Fireworks galaxy in right there. So I'll give you an idea what it looks like real quick with a screen stretch. That's what it looks like. No worries. We're just going to tuck it back over there. Bring the stars back. You can turn the auto stretch off. And now what we want to do is SETI Astro's Star Stretch. Yes, we are on process number 9. So we'll go to Script. We'll go to SETI Astro and scroll all the way down to Star Stretch. Now this is a pretty cool feature here. Whether you like big stars, small stars, But since some of those stars had some halos, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's take it down to maybe 3.76, 3.75 somewhere, but we want to boost the color up pretty good. So let's boost it all the way up, get some good color. You can hit show preview, kind of give you a preview of what it is, or you can just hit execute. And it's going to give you some really nice looking stars, colored stars, without too much of the halos going on there. Not much we can do about those at the moment, but that's the story of the filter at the moment. So there's the stars, look pretty good. All right, so we'll put the stars back there. The next, number 10, SETI Astro's statistical stretch. So what we want to do is open up the Fireworks Galaxy. You don't have to turn off the preview, but I'm going to. Script, SETI Astro, go all the way down to statistical stretch. Now, it says right here, use the slider to adjust your target median value. Start off with 10 is a good start, it says, for distinct objects like a galaxy or a planetary nebula. So what we want to do is, I'm going to show you, go ahead and hit automatic convergence. But if we leave it at 25 and hit this refresh preview, watch what happens. It's going to blow out the galaxy and the surrounding area. Yes, it pulls up some of that cool space dust out there. We don't have enough of that data, so it really blows that out of proportion. Let's trim it back to the 10. Let's give it a refresh on the preview, and let's take a look and see what it looks like. It should be 100 times better. Look at that. The galaxy looks pretty good. And you can zoom in on your galaxy if you want. You can zoom in as far as you want, but it looks pretty good. We're going to go with that. You can always go back, hit the back button, and try different sliders to get it to where you want it. You also don't have to use this. You can use GHS. However, this is just a quick and easy way of doing it. So I like that part. That's good. All right, so now that we've stretched the stars, we've stretched the galaxy. Let's do a range selection and just highlight and pinpoint the galaxy. So what we want to do is processes, all processes, range selection. All right, so this comes up. We hit this little preview button here to give us a real-time preview, and we're going to have to hit this screening box checked. Now the galaxy pops up. So we're going to take this lower limit slider, adjust it ever so slightly off to the right, and notice what happens. Slide it to the left, slide it to the right. Now everything's starting to disappear, and we want to just highlight the galaxy, and we want to just get it to where it is. You don't want a perfect circle. You don't want it all the way around, because what we're going to do is we want to manipulate just the galaxy. Then you can fine tune it with the fuzziness button. You can go, you don't want to go too far because you don't want that chord not to get adjusted. We want it about right there. And then you can kind of see these outlier stars, outlying stars around here. That looks like another galaxy up there. But take the smoothness button and just fade this in a little bit. Now, that's not enough. That's not enough. That's way too much. So somewhere between a quarter and half should be good. If you go too far, you're going to know. What we're doing is we're creating a mask. And I think that's going to be good. So we hit the go button, the apply button here, the square button. We can close out this box, close out the real-time preview, and now we're left with a mask. So we're going to take this mask where it says range mask, because we did a range selection. We're going to drop it right in the name bar here. Not on it, inside the name bar, it's going to turn red. We've created a mask. We're going to reduce this down and tuck it out of the way. We don't want to get rid of it just yet. But now what we've done is we have protected everything in red, so the background space is protected. Now we're going to adjust the galaxy. So we've done the range selection. Now we're doing curves adjustment. So we're going to hit curves adjustment, real-time preview. The mask is still there. It's up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust just the galaxy. If you want to zoom in, hit this little square box over here and then draw a box around it. Voila, it zooms in. I start off with the saturation. You can start off with the red if you want and adjust the red ever so slightly. See how the red gets adjusted and nothing in the background is adjusted, just the galaxy? Or if you want to do the green, you can adjust the green. You could make whatever colors you want. It's dealer's choice. But I'm going to use the saturation button, start off in the middle here and pull up on it ever so slightly. It just barely does some adjustments. If you really tweak it up, there's no need in doing that. You don't have to get a home run on the first hit. Just get it in the ballpark to where it starts to go, and then hit the go button. Refresh it each time because you can see as it goes away. So bring up the galaxy again. Make sure you're on the saturation line. Gently pull it up to where you like it. You don't have to over tweak it again. Just bring it up again. Hit the go button. It looks pretty good. And you can hit the go button again, but I like to reset it each time so I don't oversaturate it. Let's just do one small more maneuver here, and we'll go with that and reset it, and it doesn't do bad. I mean, there's got some hydrogen in there, got some oxygen in there, so it's not looking too bad. And again, it's dealer's choice here. Now at this point, if you think there's too much red, you can drag some red out. You can add some red in, but I think it's looking pretty good. And I always like to finish it off with just a touch of chrominance. It just adds that deep richness into everything. Now you can really go too far, but just reset it and just barely, you can tell, boom, just barely enough. And when you add it, you know you've done well. When you can see some hydrogen in there, just it's your preference. So I think I like that. We're going to leave it just like that. Maybe, hang on a second, maybe, let's just look and see what a touch of blue would do here. We don't want it too purple. We don't want it too green. So let's pull some of the green out without adding the blue. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay, so we're going to leave it alone. So now the range mask is still on. We're going to get rid of the real-time preview and leave it just like this. We need to invert the mask so we can protect the galaxy and adjust the space. We'll go to Mask, Invert Mask, and now the galaxy is red. We'll hit the curves again, reset the curves, open the real-time preview window, and make sure that we are on RGBK. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull down on the bottom of this slider to adjust the darkness of space. You don't want to go all the way down, as you can see, and it's really dark because it doesn't look good. The space isn't quite that dark. You just want to darken it up just enough to get some of those, highlight some of the space dust, but not contrast it too bad to where it looks horrible. And then you can even tweak it up just a little bit to where it's just slightly S-curve. And you can see where when you do the high end, it's adjusting some of the area of the core of the galaxy. It's okay as long as you don't blow it out. Just do a gentle S-curve like that. I think that looks good. Once you reset it, it goes back to normal. We can live with that. So we're going to go with that. Close the real-time preview, close the mask, and now you're left with the galaxy. And again, if you don't like it, you can always go back and retweak it. So that's the curves adjustment. Now we're going to put the stars back in, and there's two different ways to do it. We're going to do it the simple way. And what we're going to do here is, I've got these over here. I think they're either Bill Blanchard or they come from Leukomatico. I always get that wrong. One of these days I'll get that right. But it's basically just drag it on starless, and it creates an image there. So we want to keep this one, put it over there. And then we're going to take the stars, drop it on the stars. It creates a new star image. We'll keep our stars over here. So now these two images are here, and we're going to take this one, drop it there, and it puts the full frontal, all the stars right back into the picture. So now we don't need the other two that it created, and we are now left with a pretty good looking galaxy image. Not too bad, pretty quick. So there's a couple things we could do here. We could go, we could do process all processes. We could do blur exterminator again. And we could do a little bit more tightening of the stars if you want. You could adjust the halos back a little bit if you wanted to, or you could sharpen it just a little bit more. It's up to you. Hit the go button, and then you can do and/or noise exterminator again if you want. when you stretch an image, sometimes you increase the noise in it. Just depends on how much you tweak it. So that's not too overcooked. It does look like there's some really cool data in there. Let's hit it one more time with Noise Exterminator, and I'm going to show you a different way to put the stars in real quick. So we're just going to hit it one more time with Noise Exterminator. And if you're not happy with the colors, if you think the colors are too much, it's an easy way, quick way of getting rid of some of the colors. All you have to do is, now if you like that and it looks good, you can roll with it. If you don't like it, go to Curves, Preview Window, and go to the Saturation, and just bring the saturation down. As you notice, the colors go in the center of the galaxy here. They go away. If we refresh it, they go back. So if you don't like the colors all that well, just tone it back just ever so slightly, however you like it. It's truly dealer's choice here. All right, so I just wanted to point that out to you. All right, so we have that way to put the stars in. Or we can put this over here, and we can go over to Script, Utilities, Image Blend, and we want to refresh this. And what we can do is we take Fireworks, which is the background. This is the background image, so we'll go to Fireworks, and it puts the regular image in there. Let's say the rescreen stars puts the full stretch of the stars in. So let's say you don't want the full stretch, you just want a little bit of it. So we're going to go here, and that's the base image. We can adjust the black point, the highlights, and the midtone. So I would suggest playing with these sliders. It changes the way the image looks. Now we want to select the stars, so we'll select stars. Uh-oh, we don't have the image anymore. Well, so down here in the blend, because we're blending this, it's called image blend. Down here, it's in the blend mode is replace. We don't want to replace, we want to screen. So now we have the image with the stars in, but we are able to reduce the opacity, and now watch. Watch the stars go away. See how the stars go away? You can adjust the stars however you want. Maybe you just want a little bit of stars just in the background. Maybe you don't want none at all. You can go starless. Or maybe you want, 80% opacity and you really want the stars beefed up. You can make the stars full frontal again. See how the stars go way like that? That's overpowering. You can adjust the stars way down just like that. You can play with these sliders however you want. Either way is a choice of yours. Then you can hit the apply button, and what it does is it makes you another image called image blend, and this is the image blend here. And let's go with rescreen result, and you can look at the difference here. So you can tell that the image blend has a reduced opacity of the stars. You can tell that by looking at how bright the stars are. Let's drag this over and get the same zoom level. Look at how much more brightly the stars are punchy over here versus the image blend. That's the difference. So either way is fine, and either way will work. All right, so I would like to say thank you to Cody over at Southern Astrophotography. Make sure I got that right. Yes. This was my first time, the channel's first time at reviewing someone's data. I think that was pretty cool. So in the future, if you have any data, or if you have anything that you want us to take a look at, just send it over. Send me a DM, go on the website, send me an email. I have problems all the time, and this is a learning experience for me. I've got data that I send in over to Astro World TV to have help with my data, because I've got some anomalies in there that I can't get the data processed. So with that, if you haven't heard of Astro World TV, go over to astroworldweb.com, and there is a TV show, a YouTube show called Astro World TV. And we meet Wednesdays and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern. And come on and join the show and look, stay in the chat, ask your questions. You can submit for your images for image of the week. There's some rules for that. Just check out the rules. And then also, if you join the Astro World TV's Discord, Then on the second and fourth Friday, I believe it is, don't quote me on that, the second and fourth Fridays of the month, we do Zoom calls. But you'll get the Zoom link inside the Discord. And that's really cool because it's like everybody coming on and you get to hang out and talk everything astro and processing. And it's really cool. So please give Astro World TV, check it out and come on in and join us in the chat. And thank you again to Cody at Southern Astrophotography. I hope everyone enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace guys.